And then also, welcome back to our workshop series. Hey, everyone. Hello. Hey, Deva.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. It's a raucous group over there.
Yeah.
Welcome back to our workshops. We want to welcome Sergio.
So my name is Serge Barbagallo in French, or you can say Sergio Barbagallo in Italiano. Come vuoi.
I can hardly speak English. I'm going to try that.
Non lo so.
So Serge came from Paris 2 days ago.
Yeah?
Yeah. So he's here with the film Clac, which is going to be the closing film of the 3 p.m. Show tomorrow. We asked him to come and talk about, well, whatever he found interesting, but acting in general. He's going to kind of take the conversation wherever we choose to take it, working with directors, the difference between American acting and acting overseas. There's a lot that we can steer the conversation. So welcome.
So welcome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So my name is Serge Barbagallo. I'm not really used to make this kind of conversation between, as an actor, I prefer to be in front of the camera or on stage, but in front of an audience and talk like that, I'm a little bit impressed. So, I just would like to apologize if my English is not very so perfect. You know, I miss a lot of vocabulary and everything, so I need your help sometimes. If you can send me the right words, it will be okay for me. Just to introduce, I'm an actor, I'm a French actor and born in the south of France, and origin Italian, my father. And began the work as an actor when I was 19 years old. And fortunately for me, I succeeded to do my job during 40 years. So I'm very happy to be still an actor, because I know it's very difficult sometimes to get the job, to get the roles and everything. In France, we have a particular system, I don't know if you know that, what we call the intermittence du spectacle. So something sounds for you or not? Intermittence du spectacle. No. So it's the state. When you are unemployed as an actor, we can be paid by the government during your unemployed period. So for that, we need to work the equivalent of 500 hours a year. And after that, you can get, for 1 year, money from the government. It helps us to do, as an actor, to do research, to do other workshops, to rehearsal sometimes when the rehearsals are not paid, so we can rehearsal, particularly in theater. And it helps us to, just to take time to think about our work, to think about our human being as an actor, and to go to see the movies, to go to see theater plays. So it helps us a lot. And it's concerning the artists, actors, and it's concerning also the technicians, staff, or people who works on theater or in movies, or the technical people, they can have this kind of help money. And France is the only country we have this kind of system. Everywhere in Europe it doesn't exist. Maybe in Belgium, maybe a little bit, it's the same thing. I can say I'm still there in this job with this kind of system. I know that everywhere in the world, actors have to work in another place to get money to live, of course. For me, particularly, I did my career almost in theater. It helps a lot because we have the time of rehearsal, we have the time of play, so we can get a lot of hours of work to get these kind of things. And for movies, it's a little bit quite difficult because for an actor, except if you're, of course, a big known person, a big known actor, you can work a lot. But sometimes if you have 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 10 days of shooting in a film, that's great. And if you do 2 films by year, that's great also. So it's quite difficult to find a job in movies. What about the film? I don't want to talk about the Clac, just only talk about the plot of the script, because I prefer, I don't know if everybody here can go to the movie tomorrow and see the film. So we will discover the film tomorrow. But just the beginning of the plot is a story of the family. We are in the restaurant. So I play the husband, and my wife talked to our daughters and told them she has decided to commit suicide because she has Alzheimer's disease. And the scene begins like that. And so you will see after that. For that, do you have any question or other question? Maybe you on your side about the job and everything.
So at the beginning of this talk, I caught someone saying that there's a difference between kind of U.S. acting and European acting. Can you talk a little more about that? That's the first time I've heard of that.
In France, it's only what I think. Okay, it's subjective, but also it's a kind of experience. In France, I think we have a minded playing, a minded acting. With when we learn to do acting, we talk about the diction, we talk about the articulation, we talk about the meaning of the words and everything. But it's only intellectual. I don't know if you see what I want to mean. And I think we lose the body language, we lose the emotional, we lose everything like that. Something I can find in Anglo-Saxon and American working for an actor, or we use more the emotional way, most of the impulse, and in France it's quite a little bit intellectual, I think. And when you go to a drama school in France, you learn the text. You learn the text, you learn about, of course, the author, the story of theater and everything. But you are not learning the dance, you are not learning singing, you are not learning everything you need, you are not learning fighting with a show, you are not learning like that. If you want to do that, you want to do it on your own, on different things you can find. But in the drama school, it's only the text. And I think it missed a lot after, because in the actor's work, all the directors say, did you know to battle with a show? Did you know to sing? Did you know singing? Did you know everything? And I say, not really, but I can learn if you want, of course. But we have no time, and we are a lot of people on the job. So if you don't know, bye-bye. See you the next one. So it's quite a little bit also difficult for that. And I don't know how it is going on here in the drama school in the United States. I don't know. Did you learn a lot of things when you are here? There are people who are doing acting job. Or not? Yeah?
People who've done some acting, raise your hand.
Yeah? And and so what's going on with you when you learn acting here?
Like, what do you mean?
So what are you doing as an actress in your student?
Research.
Yeah.
Rehearsing, memorizing the lines. And again, rehearse. If we don't know something, we need to learn, or sometimes working on the dialect, if we act like British or other accents.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I
I mean, what little I did for that, I also just took singing as a separate thing, but that was just me. That's just something I wanted to do.
Okay. The others?
I think it's like creating a character in your mind and just kind of becoming the character. Utilizing many different methods like researching or coming up with a backstory or but then also bringing out yourself into it and being open to whatever comes up in yourself and letting that come through.
Yeah.
So that adds some depth to the character rather than just a character that is stereotypical. You can add to it by using your own experiences.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you're right. A character is something very imaginary. You know, it's character, what we call a character. When you read a scenario, when you read a theater play, the character is something imaginary. Who just goes out from the imagination of the author, you know, but it's not a reality. But you have to become a reality for you, this character. So you have to search inside of you with the emotional way how you can take all the things you understand from the character and appropriate for yourself. And so, there is don't you know the Meissner method? Yes. Yes. It exists since a long time in the United States, I think. Yes. It just become in France from 5 or 10 years just. And I think it's a good method of working. For me, there are a lot of ways of acting, of learning acting, a lot of ways. I used to work in a workshop with Ariane Mnouchkine. Don't you know who is Ariane Mnouchkine? No. She's a big director theater in France, in Paris. And she has a big company who called Le Théâtre du Soleil. Don't you hear? Okay. And so I did to make a workshop with her. And we are 200 people, we're 200 students. We came from this workshop during 3 weeks. And when we arrived on the stage, all the people are there. It was only improvisation, okay? And all the actors were that, and okay, let's begin. She put one foot on the stage, and she said, "Thank you, next." Okay, and the other, "Thank you, next." And we see during 1 hour, next, and we don't understand why. You know? And sometimes she said, after that, she said, after 1 hour, "Okay, let me explain what I need, what I want. You know, you came from everywhere, from acting. You know, you have made this school, you have made the Meissner method, maybe you have made the actor studio method. I don't care about that. The only thing I want is when you put a foot on the stage, you are in the character at 150%. Okay? So the difference between me and this, there's no difference. So that doesn't interest her. That interests if, hey, I'm here right now, okay? And so, okay, and we can discuss with her because we are inside the moment. And every method you can do, Meissner, actor studio, and everything, what we call, what we use always, what the directors are looking for, what the directors on stage are looking for, is to play in the moment. It's now, right now, that the things happens, right now, not before and after that, right. And the Meissner method is a good method to do that kind of job, because we are always in the connection with your partner. You look at me. You look at me? Mm-hmm. Yeah? And so, in the Meissner method, you take my phrase and you just give me to me. I look at you.
You look at me,
Yeah, I look at you.
you look at me,
I look at you.
I look at you.
I look at you. And you say what you observe. What I
You take out your
did.
glasses. You look at me
Yeah.
closely.
Yeah, I look at you closely.
Yes.
Yeah, you're laughing.
I am laughing.
You're laughing.
And you're pointing at
Yeah,
me.
you put your finger on your ear, on your skin,
Yeah.
on your chin. Yeah.
And it feels different
And
than
you say,
yours.
I put my, I just say,
Oh, okay.
affirm.
I put my finger on my chin.
Yeah, you put your finger on your chin. You put, and when you notice a changement, you just take the notice. Oh, I say, oh, you just with your eyebrows, make like that with your eyebrows, okay? And it's only a connection to be here in the moment, in the right moment. And I think it helps a lot for acting. Because I did, when I just arrived in Paris, it was in 1980. It was a long time. And I did a workshop with, during 3 years, I did a school at the American Center. And in this American Center in Paris, there are two persons called Blanche Salon and Paul Weaver, people who came from New York, and they had worked with Lee Strasberg himself. So they went during the 1970s in Paris to teaching the method of actor studio. So I met them in 1980, and I did also this kind of work of actor studio. After that, I did the Ariane Mnouchkine, I'm talking about, you know, the theater. It's another thing. I'm working on the mask. I'm working in the street. I'm working everywhere. So in different methods. And what I say, I used to be also a teacher, a theater teacher, only on 15 days workshop during 5 years. And the first thing I said to these students who came, if you want to do that job, go to see outside, go to see in another place than here. And they say, why? Here is not a good place to do. Yes, it's a good place, but that's not the only place. So you have to be always curious, open mind, and try the most you can, all the things, all the tools. It's like a tool, you know. I need this tool. I need a hammer. I need a screwdriver. Okay, so I need a tool. Where are my tools? So it's on your own responsibility to build your tools, and you can use when you need it. Okay, so be curious. Go to experience a lot of things, and even if you are going to do a workshop, and the first day you say, oh no, I don't like that, it's not, okay, you are free to go out. You are free, it's not, okay, it's not your time. Maybe you can come back in 3 or 4 years and it will be the right time to do this kind of work. But, or sometimes you say, oh, I don't like, but okay, I will try. I will try to do it. So it depends, but just try to listen yourself on what are your needs, your profound needs. And also, of course, all the culture. If you can read everything, if you can see movies. In France, if I want to talk about my cinematographic culture, I used to see movies and grateful to my parents, because my parents, my father was a worker, and he had a hard job, and so he went to bed very early. My mother too, she worked. My brother and sister, there were 2, and I was the only one, I was the last one, and they were the only one, and I have the authorization from my parents to see the movies which just came in TV at 10:30 in the evening, you know. What we call in France le cinéma de minuit, the midnight cinema. And I can see all the classical movies, the American movie classical, and from the 30, 40, 50, 60 musical comedy and everything, all the Italian movies and every movies in the world. So it was a great thing. And you have this kind of show twice, the Friday night and Sunday night. And then Monday I have to go to school. But at midnight, I'm looking all the film on TV. It was so great. And when I came in Paris in 1980, in Paris we have a lot of cinemas, independent cinemas, a lot of theater cinemas, where you can see all the films around the world. And I saw Japanese, Indian, Iranian, everything from everywhere, from South America, from Asia, from Finland, and you can see all those movies. And if you love cinema, if you love movies, you have to go to see all this. It's not possible to see all of them, of course. One life isn't enough. But try to see the most you can. Because cinema, as acting, as theater, is a good way to learn how people can live together, for me. It's art maybe can help us to live together. And all the scenario you can take, it's a way to understand how we are, how we think, how our reactions, and it's a good way to see all the world, how the people can live, and how the people live in their minds, and maybe we hope they can help us to go further together. It's my opinion. So, do I have other question? Yeah.
So when you're acting, and say you're on set, all the lights are getting set up, the director, or if you're directing yourself, you know the shot that you're in, and you kind of get out of the character. What are ways that you find yourself to be able to get back into the character and in the mode when all this things are happening around you?
For me, the right way is to be, as I told you, to be in the moment. So sometimes if the thing escape from you, just accept. You just escape. And just be focused on what you need to come back inside. But the fact that you are in a particular moment outside, it's also a truth. We're always talking about, from the acting, about the truth of the acting way. To be very, but what is it the truth in reality? Because we are playing about fiction, always. It's always a fiction. Here it's a reality for me. I'm here in front of you, okay? And I'm like that always. But when you are on stage, when you're in front of a camera, you know in your mind that you are on a fiction. And hopefully you know that. Because if you forgot, maybe you can go into a psychodrama. Sometimes. When I used to be a teacher during the workshop, I didn't work on any text, on any scene. I only work on improvisation. But in improvisation, that like the actor studio method, with the objective and or the obstacles and everything, And so you know the plot, you know the situation, you know what is your partner, it is your wife or not, and everything. And what you don't know, say how you can do to go on the next step. And so you improvise on that way. And there was, I remember there was a man, we did the workshop on the 4th floor on a building in Paris. And there was a door open, the window open, and a very thin rebord, what we call a rebord, edge, a thin edge. And the guy played an improvisation about with his wife, and he said, yeah, God, got to fuck you, blah, blah, blah. You have to go to your mother, and if you don't want, I'm going to suicide. And he begins to go and climb on the edge. And I say, okay, it's a good thing, but maybe you can just go down, please. And you say, oh, no, but I'm not going to. Yeah, I know you're not going. But it's quite dangerous. So be careful what you are doing. And when you are working with your partners and you also make I want to strangle you. If you don't control that, you maybe hurt your partner. And we don't have a lot of partners like that, during a film. Oh, change, another one, please. No, it's not possible, So you have to be careful from your partner and also from yourself. It's not necessary to be hurt, because if you are hurt, you can't work. It's the reality. This is the reality, but all the things is fiction. And to get, for me, it's all I said, it's only what I think of me. It's only subjective. It's not a truth. It's my truth only. And the fiction, when you play to get in the 100% of sincerity, is to have 1% of consciousness of what you do. 1%, that's enough. That that you are not in the reality, but you are in a fiction. And you can avoid problems like that, I think. Have the other questions?
What was the hardest play or film that you've ever been in for you to get into character?
No, I don't find. I just could say that I have some difficulties during the rehearsal, either in theater or in cinema, to get inside just to appropriate myself the character. But the hardest way, maybe I didn't met the good character to have this kind of problem, not yet. Mm-hmm. But no, I remind myself the good things I did, the good characters I like to play, but the difficulties. No. It's always difficult to get inside. Yeah, it's always. But after that, what I used to say also, when you're on stage and after the rehearsal and the play begins, an actor, you are a king on stage, or you are a queen on stage, because the director, he can say anything. The audience is here, and you play. And what does that mean? We don't care. I play. I'm here, and I know you're listening to me, and I'm very proud of that, and I enjoy, and it's a pleasure, and I can give you pleasure, and you can give me back pleasure. And this kind of energy is very, very interesting on stage for that, because it's the reality of the moment. You have the energy like that. And it's a real pleasure.
Do you miss that when you're working on film?
On film, for me, it's quite different. It's quite different because you don't have the reaction of the audience. And and sometimes it depends on what you have to play, but it's quite of intimacy in front of the camera. As we used to say on stage, we are very open and outside, and you give with your voice, because if you play when a big theater and the last person in the last row has to hear what you say, you must project your voice. It's obvious, because the man has paid a ticket to see you, and he wants to hear you also. So in cinema, there's a little thing like microphone, so you can make a thing like that. It's not a problem, you know. And it's true. But you can get the same truth when you play on stage. But the technical is different. It's quite different. And so on stage, we can just open and give all the things. You can do the same thing, of course, on movies. You can open and give all the things. It depends the frame that you're talking about. If you are a frame like this, if you are shooting with like this, you can do like this, because on the screen it's completely crazy. So you have to be conscious of the frame here, and it depends what you can give to the camera. And what we have used to say that the camera gets to pick up inside of you the things, you know. And maybe it's sometimes we can say that some actors can do cinema and others cannot do cinema, because the way that the camera goes to pick up inside of you your sight and everything, your emotion and everything, sometimes it works for actors and sometimes it doesn't work, and we don't know. It's the magic of the of the image. We don't know why. So then the people who are maybe we can be very good actors on stage and very bad actors in movies, and the opposite side, same. There are actors on movies who never want to make actors on stage, never. But and for me, it's the same basis of work. To work with the emotion, to work with your feelings, to work with your voice and the body and everything. For me, it's the same basis, but you change the form when about what you need, about the director needs also. When you turn and you have the camera like here, very close, and you have the person, you know, with the person like this, and you have you have to get, and you don't make just the food because you are out of screen. So all this, I would say that in English, contrainte.
Restrictions?
Yeah. For me, it's very interesting. I like that, because most you have and more you can be free inside. It's like a writer when on a white paper, just write me something. But what? I don't know. You just imagine what and you say, oh, wow, I don't know, and you stay like that when you no, I don't know. But if I say, okay, you are just me writing something, but you are in your home, okay, and your husband is just coming, but you want to see that he sees what you write, and then I give you some, and it's better for you to find. And as an actor, for the actor's work, the most you give you this kind of things, most you can imagine and improvise also.
What are ways in which you prepare when you first get a script or something for film? How do you prepare for it? What are the first steps that you do?
I read first. I read a lot. I read and read again and read again and read again. I try to understand, of course, the situation, the relation with the other characters, and I take a piece of paper and I write all the things I think about that. It makes me think about this situation. Makes me think about something it happened to me, or maybe something I see in another movie, or maybe something I read in a book. And you just put all your thing you have. You just put it on a piece of paper. That's great for that. And after that, you have all the tools I'm talking about before. For me, when I rehearsal, I always do, because I need it, relaxation. Do relaxation. There are other people, do struggle, to be inside. It depends. Don't you know the movie with Dustin Hoffman and the English actor Marathon Man? Did you see it, Marathon Man? It was a scene in the Central Park, and the two characters, because they are fighting, and the two characters have to be like that, And Dustin Hoffman, just before shooting the scene, just running during 5 minutes. And so when it begins to acting, it was like that. And the other character, the English actors, I don't remember no?
Laurence Olivier?
Yes, Laurence Olivier. Yeah, and he say, no, for me it's not necessary. I'm here, no problem. So it's two ways of working. And you can use what you need only.
One thing I learned from Meisner was that it's, in addition to like being in the moment, a lot of it is reacting to your partner.
Yeah.
So that helps me a lot. Is like I'm just reacting to my partner. So if you're doing a dialogue on screen or on set, and like maybe you have to do it without your partner, like how do you deal with that? Like having to have a dialogue with another person that may not be there.
With the person who are not on stage with you, who are not working with you?
Like if you have, like if it's a dialogue and they do like the shot, reverse shot, and maybe for some reason the other person
is not here.
Is not there.
Yeah. It was on a TV. I did a character calling the Comte de Breuil. It's a minister of King Louis XIV. So we shot in Versailles, and I have a scene with the king, and we talk. All the shots are on their side, And after that, the director said to me, "Oh, I'm very sorry, but the actor has to leave because tomorrow is beginning very, very, very early in the morning, so he can give you the opposite side." And I say, "Okay, it's not a problem. Okay, I know the scene. I know and there is an assistant who just give me the lines. Okay, blah 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 blah, very flat, and then." Well, that's not important. You did the job, you did the work before to be prepared. And of course, what I say about the Meisner to be with your partner, the partner is not here, but you have your imagination. And it's the most powerful tool we have, the imagination. It's with that we play. You can play what you want with your imagination, only with that. With a lot of difficulties or not, of course, but...
I'm wondering generally, how much time do you have to work on your character before you have to begin shooting?
Oh, okay. So, on my career, I didn't have a lot of experience of big characters on movies. It was always short, for 2, 3. The most I did, it was 10 years, 10 days, 10 years. Wow, a crazy thing. 10 days of shooting, and the last movie I did, it was for a director, Ukrainian and American. You have also the American nationality. It's called Vadim Perelman. I don't know if you know him. He made a film. He did a film with Uma Thurman, and he made a film with Ben Kingsley. The two films were nominated to the Oscar. I think it was in the beginning of 2000. And so I shot with him in Belarus during 10 days. And I just explain you how it happens to me. It was on Thursday. And on Wednesday, I receive an email. Please, we saw you on a platform, a European platform as an actor. We send you the text of a scene. Can you make a self-tape and send it back by WeTransfer? I just, okay, blah, blah, blah. I call a friend, do you have, can I go with you just to shoot me? Because I have to say, okay. So I have only one day, one night to learn the scene. It was a scene in English and in Deutsch. So, okay, we are going to film, we make a little montage, and we send it by WeTransfer on Wednesday night. Thursday, no news. Okay, I say, okay. And Friday, on Friday, I was in a record studio for voice recording, and I just shut my phone, my cell phone, of course, and during the pause, I just lied on, and I saw a lot of messages on WhatsApp. Please call me back, call me back, call me back, call me back. The production in Berlin, okay, I called them and said, yes, are you free to leave tomorrow morning? And I say, yes. Okay, do you have your passport? Yes. Can you send me by something? Yes, I have on my phone. So I send you, I send the passport. 1 quarter after, they send me the ticket flight. And tomorrow morning, I'm leaving. And I had all the nights in the plane to read all the script and learn the first line of my first scene. And you say, okay, so you... There you go.
Have you ever turned down a script?
If
Have you ever turned down a script?
Down?
Have you
Said no.
ever said no,
No.
on a script?
No.
No.
No, no.
Okay.
No.
Of your entire acting career, stage or screen, what was your favorite role and why as an actor? What was your favorite role to perform, and why does that stand out from all the others?
It's just join what you say before. What a pleasure to be an actor, because you work at every step of your age, of your life. So I have a remember of a beautiful role I get when I was 23. I have the remember of a beautiful role I had when I was 30, when I was 40, 60, and now 60. And so every time you can have, because it change, you change. So the roles change also. And concerning the young, when I was 23-year-old, it was with the Blanche Salin and Paul Weaver, the two people I talked before in the American Center in Paris. They made a play from the writer was David Williamson. I don't know if it sounds something for you. David Williamson is a cinema writer also, who write, in English I don't know, it's L'année de tous les dangers. The year of every danger. He's an Australian writer. And the film during the 1970s, I think he did. A big movie. So he wrote a play, a theater play, about the story of I play a young cop, there's just going out from the school police. And it was a very, very realistic play with all the fights I was talking about before, with people, yeah. And we rehearsed during 6 months to do that job on stage, to try to be very realistic for the audience, but try to avoid also to hurt themselves. It was and for me it was a good play, a good character, and a good way to work, because during this 6 months of rehearsal, I never learned my lines. Never. Why? Because we take all the situation, each situation. We just define what happens between the partner and the other character, and we make improvisation, and at every improvisation we change some ways of some actions. You know, no, I don't use this action, I can use this one. And every time we are very closer from the text of the author. So we finish the rehearsal. I don't need to learn the lines. The lines were inside of me. Because all the work of improvisation, I can't use only these words, only these other words. And it was so great to work like that. But we need 6 months. And sometimes we don't have the time to work on stage or on cinema. Maybe some directors like, oh, tant pis, ça me reviendra. Il est mort, he's dead. He's a French director, he's dead. But he used to work a very long time before the first day of shooting with their actors. He used to work 2 or 3 months on the lines. So when you have the possibility, when you have the money, when you have the time to work like that, for me, I think it's a good way also. But you can have big results and big interesting things only for the first time. You don't need to have all the process, you know. First time you just have the line and you go and you throw inside. So it's quite, I think you have to get more adaptation to be adaptable, we say that? To be adaptable, who depends who you are going to work. Because there are some directors, they want to work like that, okay? And the others, they take more their time and everything. So you have to be very adaptable for that. It's also, it's my think, what I think. I don't know. I know actors who doesn't want to be heard, who doesn't want to be directed by in a way like that. And you say, no, I don't want to refuse that. Okay, I want to work only like that. Okay, that's not a problem also. Everyone has to be adaptable, even the director. Because even if the directors are very known, for me, I don't put the director on that level and the actor on that level. No. For me, artistic way, there are no levels. We are working all together for the same thing, to make a film or to make a theater play. So if the director chooses me, he has a good reason to choose me. And so we have to work together. He needs me as I need him. Maybe it's easy to say, not easy to lead. Yep.
Yeah. Is there a role that you haven't played yet that you would like to play?
Every role. Of course, life is very short, you know, for an actor, for everyone. Of course, life is very short. But when you enjoy that job, because it's a work, it's a job of pleasure, it's a job of passion. If you love, you want to do all the roles, you know, and you know it's not possible, but yeah, all. If you want to propose me, I take it. No problem.
You mentioned earlier that you, when you're on stage, you have to project your voice a lot. Was there ever a time where you've lost your voice because you've just been so loud on stage, or have you done things to, like, have you taken any classes to, you know, to work with speech and voice to where you don't, you know, but you know.
To work with the voice. I was on the street school. I did street theater. And hopefully for me, nature gives me a good natural voice. And I didn't work my voice with any teacher. and I began to make some theater, street theater, and we used to speak like that, very loud. Hey, yay! I'm here. Okay. Blah 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 blah. Hey, come on, come on. Okay, I'm used to. So, hopefully for me, it still works.
Speaking of adapting to maybe another actor or actress that may be difficult, may have a large ego or something like that, what are some of the processes that you go through in order to work with someone that may be quite difficult?
Oh, I'm not quite sure to understand everything.
If you worked with another actress or actor that was on set or on stage, it was difficult, that maybe had a little bit bigger ego than you did or something, how do you adapt, like you said, to work with those people in order to pull off finish the production or
I used to say what happens in the moment. So if the person you have, your partner, it doesn't match very well, you can even, okay, come with me and we can have a talk, okay? And you know if it works or not. Because I can receive from you something, maybe you can receive from me something, okay, we can talk about that. And if the actors don't want to talk, okay, I don't care, okay, it's your job, do your job, it's my job, okay, you accept, and you play with that. And you play with that. And even if the characters has to be very close friends and the actors not, you have your imagination for that. I love you, you know? I love you so much. And after you play, then I fuck you, guy. I don't care about you. No. Because it's not... en français, on dirait, il n'y a pas péril en la demeure. Alors, how we can translate that? Il n'y a pas péril en la demeure. There is no urgency, there is no death thing, you know? It's only a relation. Okay, you don't like me? Oh, okay, no problem. I don't want to be like with you. I don't know. Okay, I accept that. You don't like me, you don't like me. I don't like you either. So, but we can work together, yeah. Or if it doesn't match, maybe sometimes I have a kind of conflict one time on a play. And I was very upset, you know, I say, oh, I quit the rehearsal. No, give me a shit, fuck you, I am going out and take you. And the director saying, well, what happened? I don't care, I can't shit on me, and blah, 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 etc. And after that, and when I just explained that, I said, oh, I'm feeling better. Whew, that's okay. So we can go on the rehearsal, you know, and just accept. And so I said to the director, you know, it's on your own responsibility. If there is something just happen on stage with two actors, it's on your responsibility as a director to intervene and just try to understand why. Because the most important is the show. We don't care about the egos. I know we have an ego. Everyone have an ego, of course. And hopefully we have an ego to make this kind of job. Hopefully for that. But we don't care also about your ego. It's your own problem. You have to manage with it.
Do you enjoy auditioning?
No. I say no. It depends. It depends of the role. It depends of the character. But it's always a very tough period. You know, very tough time to make an audition. But I was very lucky on stage, often on stage, to be chosen by the director, because I used to work with the same director, and when he wants to make something, he call me, are you free? And we're up, and we're out again together. I did more than 10 shows, 10 plays with the same director. So it's very comfortable, you know, have someone just call you and they say, oh, you're free? Yes, I'm free, that's perfect. Oh, I get a job, yeah, okay. But for the cinema, it's quite different because cinema is also, like theater, is also a kind of family. If we have inside of the family, that's okay. If you are outside, please, may I come into the family? No, you know someone here? No, so go. Yeah, it's difficult to be inside. So it's the same thing on theater. We create families, and for me it's a pity because we worked sometime the same way of working, and we just cross on your own way of acting, you know, and you take a rest on how you act. You are used to act in the same way, but it doesn't interesting for me. I need just to go to the adventure, to go to take risk. Of course, it's the thing with the most important for me is to take risk from my acting. You know, if I'm used to work on the same way, it's like to go to work to a plant. For me, I know it's not. Huh? In fact, go to a plant. So my father. So no. But no. Me, I want to have different adventures to discover every time, and not to be on the same. It's the reason I try to never be cast for a series in French, for a French series. They're all bad. French series are all bad. Merci la vie and everything. Because it's not the actors who are bad. It's not the writers who are not, they are bad. No, it's the concept of the TV, you know. It's the concept of you have to make 20 minutes, useful 20 minutes of shooting every day, blah, 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 and you are like, yeah, like a worker like that. No, it doesn't interesting. Artist has to be free. And it's the most difficult thing to get. And the most also, it's a choice, it's a life choice. And you have to assume this life choice. Sometimes it gives you some money difficulties, it gives you some money of understanding yourself. You know, you are, I don't know, you're roast every time. But it's the price of the freedom to be an artist. And if you succeed to be like that and not to be compromised with a lot of things, but yeah, it's difficult to arrive to this kind of way of life. But if you have the passion, if you don't have the passion, you can't resist. I don't know here, but but I think everywhere in the world, if you are not passionate with that job, about 7-10 years, you change. You change. It's too difficult, I think, to leave. There's a reality, get money and leave, to your construction as a human being, to deal with your psychology. It's quite difficult sometimes. So you have to be passionate by the job.
What do you think makes a good director?
I can say someone who can share with you, who can share about your character, you're talking about, and you share the way to work, and someone who are listening, of course, and on your own difficulty, sometimes to just to get the character as he wished to that you get, you know, because the director has a way of mind at an image of the character, and sometimes he has also the sound voice of the character. And if you don't give the same sound, and you say, no, it's not that. And I say, okay, it's not that. What do you want? No, it's not the same sound. You know, the guy is talk a little bit like that, okay? And they say, okay, if you want, I can do the same like you. Okay, I can make an imitation of your sound voice, but that's not enough for me, because I need to understand not here, I need to understand here what happens, because it's beginning here, it's not beginning here. Here. All stuff is here, the emotions here. So the understanding is, and after it's going through your mind. But the first thing in the impression coming from here, always. The body language we're talking to first, not the words. Depends if you work on a character who is an intellectual. Okay? Maybe we can give you all marks on the lines, you know. I don't know. Okay, so this kind of character have a good way to use the words. But even that, the most important is the beginning is here. Why the relaxation? Why the way to get involved with your emotions? You know, and so I used to work with a good teacher I met in New York in 2012. I did the Meissner method with Scott Williams in New York during 5 weeks. And I met a woman called Nikki Flax, an old lady. She used to be an actress too, and she was teaching right now. And she was teaching about the emotions. And she said, it's not necessary to think about your died mother or died cat animals to weep or to cry. It's not necessary. It's only just open here, and you will see the time which could come like that, even if you don't think about something very sad. No, it's not necessary to do that. And it's like a tool also, and you have to open, and you have to make this movement. And all the feelings can come. The anger, the crying, the sadness, nostalgia, everything. And it's like an exercise we have to do every day. Every day. What happens with sport? Yeah, every day. I'm used to do it also every day. It's a little bit sport, you know. It's important also. The musician, the pianist, all the day. The dancer. And the actors. What they are doing every day? Nothing. Oh, what needs the actors to work? The emotions. So you have to make your own. I always say the gamme. When you make the piano, you make the gamme. The gamme. The
Score. Scales.
The scales. So, and the scales for the actors is the emotion, and you have to do the same every morning, just to be free, to be open, and to be in a good respiration, and you will see all the feelings comes. And when we need it when you work, even on the cinema, you take action, and you are the same action at this quiet moment. So you have to be like that. But it's only work with you, with your tools.
I had a friend who was really into theater, and he was trying to do a monologue about suicide, but all of his acting friends told him not to, because every time he did, he went to like a really dark place and he couldn't get out of it. How do you access like past and stuff safely, you know, where you're able to use it for your performance and then come out of it, not let it affect you?
That's a question who just come back a lot from different actors when they did some difficult characters. How to get out after they play in the camera, after they run during 2 months of shooting, how to get out. And on stage, after the representation, after to get out of that. The only thing I can say, it depends on the person. For me, I talked about the 1% of consciousness when you work. And for me, if you think about that, I try to not be affected no longer after, okay? I know you have to land off after a show, you know, after on stage, you are in an energy incredible, you know, you are the heart, blah, 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 all the vitamins and all the hormones, and you are flying after the show, and you need time to land off, you know, and to calm down inside of you. And sometimes there are people who need a lot of times just to forget, but it depends on the person. And we have no rules. We have no rules. For me, it will be to, after a show in theater, for me, it will be to meet people after the show, to discuss with them, and okay, and, it's a way to be here also right now. And for the movie, if you are used to live every day with your character, or what you think, what you built around your character, and all the things you provoked inside of you to create this character, maybe, of course, it could fix something inside of you, and sometimes it's very difficult to escape of that. And at the same time, we can say we accept that in every character I did, I take one thing and I keep it. I take one thing and I keep it. And I become not another person, but I become a person more complete, more rich, more, because I have the opportunity to touch a lot of situations. In life, we don't have the opportunity to have this variety of situation and to play this variety of characters. So to touch with your mind, to touch with your guts, to touch with your feeling, are the things we have in the character. And as an actor, we have the luck to be lucky to get all these things, because in the real life it's impossible. As I used to say, when you go to the bakery and you say, please, how many is the bread? Please, can I have a bread? Yeah, okay. Thank you, madam, and have a nice day. It's a society, okay? We just built this way of life, and it's normal, because you can say, hey, bitch, can you just send me your fucking bread, la? Okay, you can say that. But as an actor, yes. As an actor, it's permitted, it's allowed, and it's, wow, it's a wonderful, because you can say, it's a kind of therapy, of course. It's a kind of therapy. Oh, this fucking guy just coming and get out, la. Oh, what happens?
I'm just an actor, I'm not even really here.
Yeah. So, yeah. No, it's
How is voice acting different than stage acting? As in when you're working in an audio only, like either an audio narrative or like other kind of voice acting opportunities. How is the acting experience?
When you only voice recording?
Yeah.
It's the same. It's the same for me. Okay, you are on the microphone, okay, but you are playing a situation. You have to play also with the emotion, with your voice, and if you have a partner or not, the same. You have to be involved in the same way. For me, I make no difference in the way to act. If it's only the forms, it's only the technical who change, maybe. Because sometimes in front of microphone, you have to be very careful, especially with the French language, because we call the dental, we do the p, the b, the d, the t, all the things, and the recorder man in the studio, shit, the so he makes just a thing in front of the microphone, just to, and you have to be very careful with that. But in fact, the way to do it is the same way as an actor, because you act. You act. Also, when I was a teacher during the workshop I had the opportunity to have in the workshop some directors, some person who were directors movie, or want to be a director. And I used to say that it's very important for me that person like that who want to direct actors on stage or in front of the camera understand how it works inside of an actor, to understand how it works. And so the most important thing is to do by yourself as a director. Just, okay, let's go to see what happens and to understand. And after that, try to begin a dialogue with the actors because you know him. I have the luck because Fabien Harrat was directed the Comet, the short movie, Clac. He's an actor too, so he knows how it works. And during the shooting, it was very, very peaceful, very comfortable to work with him because they have the good words, to help you. It's quite important. And I know that there are directors doesn't interested by the actors. It's crazy things. They make movies, they use actors, but they are not interested in the actors, in the person as an actor. It's a crazy thing, but it's like that. It exists. Okay. Mm-hmm. Because they are in their own way of mind and in their own imagination, and the person you have, they think you are just an object, and you have to do what I need, what I want, because I am the creator, So I have a lot of directors, and in the same time, sometimes it makes a good film. It's so there are no rules at all. It can work.
Is it a benefit for an actor to spend time being a director and learning that experience?
As an actor, to be a director? Yes.
It helps.
Yeah. I did. I created a theater company. I directed during 25 years. And I create my own shows, and I used to be a director. So it helps me to be an actor too, because I can understand where are the difficulties for an actor to just to get the right thing, to get the character. So we can help, we can have a dialogue.
So you've done acting and a little bit of directing. Are there any other things you've done, like maybe lighting or other production stuff?
I'm not sure to be understood everything, just because I'm a little deaf, and with my glasses it's better.
So you've done acting,
yeah,
and you've done a little bit of directing.
Yeah.
What do you do? Anything have you tried anything else just to learn more, like doing the lights or the costumes?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
That sort of thing.
On stage with the company I used to work, we are used to do a lot of things. Decor, costumes, not the light. The light is very special things, and I didn't touch the lights. I worked with a lighter man, okay? 10 years ago, there is a city in the south of France who just asked me to be directing a show that we call a light and sound show about the story of the city. So we make the scene. It was an outside show, in front of the sea, you know, and I have 90 meters of stage, you know, and 20 meters, and I have boats who came on the sea, I have a train, I have a big stuff, you know. And I was a director of this kind of things with 250 people on stage. And I say, oh, mama, why I accept this kind of job? It's a crazy thing. And I manage, because in fact, when you have put a foot inside, it's finished. You have no choice. You never come back. So you are going inside, and that's great. And it's a good pleasure also. And I've done nothing about the lights, how it works. But I say to the light man, I want this kind of effect. I want this kind of color. And just do it. And okay, if I make the proposition, I can propose that. Okay, no, oh yeah, it's a good one. Yeah. And we can just goes on like that. And it's also the same thing with the person who built all the stuff. So we make with the person who make the costume, with the person who make the music, what like that. We worked together in the same way. And then with the other company, so we did all the, when the play was over, all the actors take off all the stuff and put it in the truck and everything. We did everything. Well, we are not only acting, you know, I'm an actor, okay? So that's enough. I'm doing my job like that and then go. The first time I find myself on a movie set, I have all the habitudes of my acting theater. So at the end of the set, the man was just taking all the, you know, the cables, you know, and say, oh, you want to help? You no problem. And he say, why are you fucking here? Oh, actors, go out. Oh, no, you don't want to help. No, you are an actor, so stay an actor. Okay, no problem. So I go in my caravan, and I'm waiting. And now I have a great pleasure to wait in my caravan. When I was young, it was so, I was with a lot of energy, you know, I want to do like that. And in this cinema movie, it doesn't like me because I was the feeling I lose my time, you know, 2 hours waiting, 3 hours. And one day, 24 hours waiting, 24 hours before shooting. It's crazy thing. I don't want to shit this cinema. And for 10 years, I like it because I'm older. And I like to rest a little bit. I like to, yeah, it's a good thing. I talk a lot, huh?
Is there an actor that you particularly admire in their approach, not just their performances, but their approach and their kind of...
Yeah, on their approach, if I talk about very known actors, I don't know them particularly, though I can't know how they approach their character. So I saw the result, okay, and the performance. But I think it corresponds to the way of they think as to be an actor and how they can approach also. And for me, I like very much, I can say 3 actors, American actresses. I like Susan Sarandon a lot. I like Julianne Moore. and I like Frances McDormand. Right, it's my 3 favorite actresses. Yeah, in the way they work, and sometimes it's their choice. Maybe sometimes if they make not a good choice, but I like the way they work.
How's it going?
But you miss the most interesting part.
I'll love to watch.
Ah, yeah.
Did you talk at all about communicating? So in our Media 21 class, we talked a lot about directing actors. Did you talk at all about like direction and how what's effective, what kind of effective communication directors can use to get certain performances?
Yeah, it's what we talked a little bit before. You have different types of directors, you know. You have some who wants to hurt you to get the right thing from you. So you have the choice to position. You accept or you don't. You say, I don't like this way of working. And the guy say, okay, we change. Okay? So, or he may say, okay, so let's find another way. Or you can say, okay, I accept to work like that. It depends on you.
What is a way that you like to work as an actor with a director? Like how do you...
I don't like the conflict. I don't like the conflict because conflict doesn't help me for my work. If someone shouted at me or something like that, I'm very like that, and I can't work. I can't give the most I could give. So I don't like. But so I have maybe the luck to work only with people I like. But, in fact, what can I say today, because I'm 62 years old, and I can say that today because I'm not I'm an unknown actor. Okay, I worked as an actor, and it's big, you know. But I don't care right now about what thinks a director of me. If it doesn't like my job, he takes another one. That doesn't matter for me. So I want to be, as an actor, as a person, I want to be comfortable with my job. So I don't accept when people begin to shout at me or something like that. We can arrive to the same result without doing that. It's what I think. That doesn't mean that during the rehearsal we can have some difficulties, some hurting works. That doesn't mean that. But if it's on the only shooting, you have someone who every day is going to shoot on you to say, what a bad actor you are. And they say, why? But why you are choosing me? Why you are choosing me if I'm a bad actor? So go to fuck you, man, okay? You don't know what to make me? Okay, that's not a problem. You are not the only one. Even if you are a famous one, you are not the only one. And what I say sometimes to the casting directors, and I know they never call me back during all the time, but I don't care. I don't care. I say that you are not the only casting director on earth. I want to be respected because I'm only a human being. It doesn't make something with the acting. It's only with the person. With a human being you are. And we work with human beings. The director is a human being also. And also if it's for the the magnificence of the cinema, to do a big movie, very, very important and very well known, and maybe to work with my dream, actually, to work with a director, would be to work with Peter Greenaway. I don't know if you know him, if you have seen movies from him. No.
What's the name again?
Peter Greenaway. It's an English director. The guy who did the Belly of the Architect, Zoo, the Drawing by Numbers, the thief, the wife, no, the husband, the thief, the wife and her lover. Yeah, it's that guy, like Peter Greenaway. It's for me, it's wonderful directing. I like his movie. And so I wrote him. I did a long time to do it, 10 years. Every day, say, I would like blah, 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 blah. And always, you make a dream like that. And to make a dream a reality, go in the action. Acting, action. So do it. What happens? Just throw the bottle in the sea, and we will see after that. So I wrote to him like 6 months ago. I don't have an answer. That doesn't matter. Maybe one day, an email. Oh, why not? So that's true. I can do that because I have the age. But when I was younger, it was too much complicated. I don't want. It doesn't like me. Blah, 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 all the things you have as an actor. Why he didn't choose me because he doesn't. She looks like me like that. I know she doesn't like me. Blah blah blah. And all the things out. It doesn't help you. Out. You can't be loved by everybody, of course, and we know that. So I have a devise. I don't know how we say devise. Let me try to remember. I say, if you want to buy, buy. If you don't want to buy, bye-bye.
Do you have an agent?
Yeah.
You have an agent?
Yeah, I have an agent. I can say because it's important to have in your curriculum vitae the name of an agent. But I find my work, not the agent. No.
You still have to pay.
I just give the agent the way to make the contract because I'm not very good in the negotiation. I'm not very good. It's difficult to talk money as an actor directly from your work. Hey man, hello, I want $1 million, yeah, and I owe it. Yeah, of course, I'm the best. I'm the good one. Yeah, okay, so give me. It's crazy. So okay, the agents, you can negotiate with the production. Okay. Yeah, it's acting is the only way you are very close from you because you work with you. So it's difficult to sell you. There's a friend of mine who say, we are prostitute. Say, actors are prostitute. They sell them to do everything they ask to do. Oh, you want to do it like that? Yeah, I do it. I can do it, everything. Because we need to work, we need to act. It's so good to act, so you can accept everything, but not me. I don't always make a choice. The only thing I have, the possibility to have a choice. And sometimes it costs a lot.
Are you familiar with there's a current conflict between actors and agents in the U.S.
No.
regarding, it's a kind of labor, it's a labor-based conflict in the sense that the agents have been employing certain practices. Anyway, where I was going with this is like, how do you belong to an actors union? How do you feel about your yourself as a actor and a worker, and as part of a labor class?
In France, there is a union, the SFA, Société Française des Acteurs. You're not obliged to be part of it, so you have the choice. Sometimes it can help you if you have problems with the production and everything. But I don't think that the problems are the same in the relation between actors and agency in the United States that ours in France. I don't think. For me, it's quite difficult to answer to this question because as I told you, I'm not a very known actor, so I have an agency, a little one agency, and I don't have conflict with them. So I just negotiate, okay. The last contract was the film I'm talking about in Belarus, the film where so I did the casting and I called her and I say, oh yeah, I have 10 days of job. I give you the contract, okay? And she said to me, oh, but where they are come from there? But the production is in Berlin, okay, and they are talking in English. And she said to me, oh, I'm not talking English. And I say, I don't care, just do it. Do it your job. Take someone who can talk in English and maybe and get the negotiation with the production. And she begins, and I take the way. For the first time of my life, I call the production just to negotiate with her agreement and what she's talking to answer. So I did the thing. But we don't have the same relation. Maybe the very, very known actors with their agency, maybe some, but I don't know that. No. I'm an artisan. Comment on dit un artisan? Artisan, someone who makes from his hands, Yeah, an artisan. C'est not a big one. Okay.
All right, thanks so much for.
I'd like to do. Thank you.
We've had such a wonderful range of topics on workshops, haven't we? It's been great. I'm really glad that we were able to get a other side of the camera perspective. That's really helpful. And we have a lot of people in here who've acted in films, including ones that we just screened recently. So.
I don't know how it happens here, but in France we have a lot of private schools, cinema private school. Well, one, not the public one, the famous, the good school. But we have a lot of schools, like maybe 8 or 10 private schools of cinema. And I used to work with the students as an actor for their first or second, or third year of they have to make a short movie. And the question is asked, and I say, how do you have, during your 3 years of learning, do you have something with work with how to work with the actors? And they always say no. And I say, how can you? No, we have only 1 day just about the directing, the actor directing, and we have a session about how to make a casting, okay? And but about the acting, no. And don't you have any? All the stuff technical, okay? The camera, the frame, the lights, the sound, the bill, the writing. But the acting, 1 day or 2 days, that's enough. And I say, how can you work with people on stage if you don't practice something?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
We, in Media 21, we focus on acting a lot. It's the most important thing. If your
I
acting is
think.
bad, it doesn't work. The textbook that we use, Directing for Actors, is Judith Weston.
Yeah,
Exceptional. She's got several books, if you
you are very lucky.
back in that environment.
No, you are very lucky. But
So you can see Serge in the film Clac. This will be closing the 3 o'clock show tomorrow. And our next workshop starts in about 45 minutes. Valerie's next door prepping. She's got all kinds of really cool media from various animation films from DreamWorks. So that's going to be from 4 to 5:30. So come back then.
Is it gonna be here?
Yeah, it'll be in the same room. You're welcome to stay here too, or do whatever. But
thank you to have listening to me, and I'm very, very happy to be here. And I'm very lucky also to be here, to be invited by the festival, and it's a great, great moment for me. And maybe you have reassured me to make this kind of work. Okay.
host you.
Yeah.
Yeah.